So I wanted to do a quick video on what is a breakthrough or release with MER as we call it in MAPS. So a breakthrough is an NLP process. I think it originally started with Tad James, who was a major NLP trainer and one of the early trainers of NLP. And he came up with a timeline kind of therapy. His son, Dr. Matt James, named it mental and emotional release and refined it some more. So MER, mental and emotional release, is an NLP process. It's not therapy. That is actually quite effective. In fact, proven to be very effective. So there's a book called Mental Emotional Release, which almost a whole chapter is dedicated to a research project by Dr. Patrick Scott from Las Vegas. So Dr. Patrick Scott has a therapy center that handles thousands of patients, like in the tens of thousands of patients or more. And they did an experiment, a scientific experiment, and they took certain people through the mental emotional release process, and they took other people through cognitive behavioral therapy. A really way higher percentage, and I don't know the exact numbers, so you can read the article yourself, but a significantly higher number of people had better success through mental emotional release. And these are people with PTSD and depression. And a lot of people got results from cognitive behavioral therapy. It just took a lot longer. And then the results afterwards with the breakthrough sessions, there have been no real relapses. Cognitive behavioral therapy, on the other hand, those study participants, some of them did have relapses. So it was proven to work. It was proven to work with PTSD and depression in that scientific study. So much so that the American Association of Psychiatrists wanted Dr. Patrick Scott, who's a psychologist, to present to their association about it. Because his study had 1,000 participants and it was a pretty significant study. So the actual process itself is a 10 to 12 hour intensive, and different coaches structure that in different ways. It can be all done together, stretched out. But that 10 to 12 hours is made up of certain things. So the first 3 hours or so is what's called the detailed history. And that's where the coach asks, or the practitioner asks the clients a whole bunch of questions related to the problem or the area of life. So you do a breakthrough in some area of life: career, spiritual, health, relationships, intimate relationship, the finances, money. So whatever area of life you're working on, the questions start and really dig into what is the greater problem. What are all the limiting beliefs involved there, and what's really the one down at the under that really is driving it all. So once that's discovered, then the next few hours are going through a number of kind of visualization exercises. So it's actually exercises to release baggage and in your neurology, and to add other thoughts instead that you choose, other decisions in there. So your neurology is a pattern of thinking. You have patterns of thinking and beliefs. And those of you who've been in Keller Williams or taken Bold, you remember point 4, which is programming leads to thoughts, leads to feelings, leads to actions, leads to results. So that's what we're dealing with here, is the programming and the thinking and the feeling there that's creating actions or not creating actions that you want. And so we do a number of visualization, release work visualizations that actually removes that old baggage. Then another part of a breakthrough, or release with MER, as MAPS calls it, is that you have to set new goals. So then you work with a coach to set new goals, aim goals, goals that you point at, and end goals, goals that you actually reach and measure, and your vision for the future. once you create that vision and those goals, then you have to take action. You have to take action on it, and you have to focus on the positive. So where clients sometimes get a little bit of a hiccup afterwards is they don't do those next 3 steps. They don't focus on the positive of what they want. They don't take active actions. And if that's the case, we can get them back on track. But it's very important during a breakthrough intensive that the client is ready, they're alone, they're in a space where they can be just paying attention to themselves. It's not like therapy where you go in and cry a bunch. You do talk. Sometimes there are some tears, and you do release work, and that's again like a visualization, a guided visualization process. So it's very important that the client is committed, because the after work is as important as the work of the day or the 10 to 12 hours. Taking action, focusing on what you want, and then really having some good solid goals. So release with MER, I've seen prices from those anywhere from $3,000 to $20,000 for a breakthrough, depending on the clientele, the practitioner. So my price is a little bit higher, not $20,000. The MAPS price for all KW agents and their immediate family, they can have a release with our MER experience with someone trained, and there are only 3 or 4 of us in MAPS that do this. They can have a release with MER experience for only $3,000. That's a huge discount. That's less than I charge outside of MAPS. So it's an intensive experience. If you think about it, that coach is with you 10 to 12 hours, and there's usually some follow-up because you have to make sure you're doing the actions. That's where that $3,000 cost comes in. So again, I work with breakthroughs with my clients who want one. That's a part of our coaching. But for people who are not in my schedule, they certainly can have it, and you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to give you more information. So I hope that explains exactly what a breakthrough is, what is a release with MER experience. Okay? Thanks so much. Bye.